How's it going? Happy Thursday. Just coming on here quickly because I've been doing actually a lot of reflecting over the past couple weeks. I have been sick and have, just been taking a lot of time to myself to not only recover, but towards the end of the year, we always do a lot of reflection. And I wanted to come on here because there was a massive realization that I had the other day. So for those of you who don't know my personal story, I actually used to be 200 pounds and I struggled with my weight for over a decade, trying so many different things, all of the extreme diets. And I would lose weight, put it back on again. Hey, Paisley. Put it back on again, lose it again, and put it back on again. And I could never, ever keep it off. I could never lose it and keep it off until I finally found my own personal solution. But one of the things, having gone through decades of weight loss and decades of holiday seasons, one of the things that I wanted to come on here and share with you was a couple of the things that I wish the person that I am now, who's been able to lose 80 pounds and keep it off, plus have 2 babies and lose the weight and keep it off, there's a couple lessons that I have learned, especially in particular about the holidays, that I wanted to come on, that I wish my 200-pound self would have known, because it would have saved her not only so much time and so much stress, but it would have actually gotten her results that would have paid off. So I wanted to come on here quickly and just talk through a couple of them with you, because I think it's hugely helpful. So the very first thing that I want to say is, don't have an all or nothing approach when it comes to your diet. We do this all the time during the holidays. Now, I know this is going to sound really counterintuitive, but I wouldn't recommend you starting a diet right now. I mean, I know there's a ton of gurus out there. I feel like everybody's out there right now saying, like, jump in and do all the things and don't wait until January and get started now and da-da-da-da. But here's the factor, the mom factor, that not a lot of people get, is the holidays are stressful, pardon my French, as fuck. They're stressful as fuck. So you starting a program right now is actually going to cause you more stress, is actually going to cause you to fail, and is actually going to cause you to get frustrated and probably prevent you from not starting something anytime soon after. And as we know with hormones, or if you guys don't know, I'm going to tell you right now, the more stressed out you are, for those of you who have that like ring around your tummy, like the extra belly fat around your tummy, that's cortisol stress. That's like stress fat. And so the more stressed out you are, if you've got that ring, that's the number one indicator of where it's coming from. And so we don't want you to be stressed out, because what being stressed out does is it causes your body to hold on to fat. And so as much as everybody's like, don't wait until January and start now, the holidays are stressful for moms, super duper stressful. How are you possibly going to be able to, and I don't want to say overhaul your diet, but learning, at least in my program, we actually give you the tools to understand foods so that you don't have to follow meal plans. You're not restricted to eating certain things. We're actually going to teach you how to incorporate holiday dinners and everything into your diet, so it's not restrictive. But learning that takes a little bit of time. And so I don't want to throw you into the lion's den and say, here's Christmas and you got to do all these things while you're learning all of these important tools that are going to keep you sustainable. So I totally respect the fact. And I also, I really encourage people, to kind of wait until after the stress is done, because you're going to be learning tools that are going to serve you for the long term. And so you want to be in the right mindset of that. That being said, entering into the holidays, you don't want to have this all or nothing approach, because it doesn't work. And so what I mean by that is, I don't want you guys to dive into, for a lot of us, we're celebrating Christmas. And I want you to dive into Christmas and think, it's okay, I'm going to deal with this in January. So I'm going to have all the wine, I'm going to have all the treats, I'm going to have all the cookies, and I'm just going to deal with it in January. Because if history has taught us anything, ladies, I don't know if I can speak for myself, having gone through this for over a decade, but you're not going to deal with it in January. Or you might, but it might look like a juice cleanse that's probably going to last for about 3 weeks, and then you're going to fall off. And you're going to gain even more weight because you restricted yourself, and then the weight's just going to come back on even more. So you're going to have twice as many issues to worry about. You're going to have your Christmas weight that came on, plus you're going to have this extra weight that you tried to get off that didn't come off and now came back in spades. Because when we restrict, that's exactly what happens. And so you don't necessarily need to be all in or all out. You can have the balance of both, which is what I preach, because when you have that balance, it's almost like having insurance, because when your life is balanced, if you then have like, a little bit of a Christmas blip, it doesn't make a dent into your weight loss. Like, it doesn't make a dent in terms of like putting on weight. You actually get to stay even keel, which is realistically the goal that we want for Christmas. It's not necessarily realistic that we're going to be losing a ton of weight, but we also definitely don't want to gain a ton of weight, which I know for a lot of women, like, usually the average, I would say, in the industry is about 5 to 10 pounds over the holidays. So what we want is to just keep you even keel and keep you steady, so that when January comes, you're starting like from clean slate and you haven't gained anything and your goals are just like what they were beforehand. So what I basically want to share with you guys is my 3 top tips that I wish my 200-pound self knew back in the day. Aside from being like even keel, these are the things I think that are going to help keep you get that balance, so that over the course of the next couple of weeks while we're heading into this mayhem, you have that insurance, so that you're not necessarily putting on those 5 or 10 pounds over Christmas. So the very first one that I would say, without a doubt, hands down, is eat 3 meals a day. And the reason why this is so important is because from a societal standpoint, we're always taught that if we're going to head into things like Christmas, what you want to do is you want to restrict yourself during the week or restrict yourself before and after these events, because then it's like you're undoing what you did. But in actuality, guys, I've said this so many times before, restricting yourself actually causes your body, A, to not only hold on to the weight, but B, it's going to slow down your metabolism even more. So it's going to make your weight loss even harder as you come into the new year, and you're getting ready to achieve those, New Year's resolution goals. Because let me say, I'm all about the goals. I'm all about the goals for 2020. It's a brand new decade. Looking back on this past decade, I know a lot of us are like, wow, I want this one to be a new, better one. So like, I'm all about them. So that's the thing. I want you guys to go into this new decade realizing that this whole restrict binge thing is not working. It doesn't work. All it does is it slows down your metabolism even more. And then if you ever have another binge session again, your body, everything else that you put on top of that, your body's just going to store as fat, which is why you gain that weight during the holidays, even if you restrict so much. So what I want you to do is make sure that you're eating 3 meals a day. Super, super simple. It's not sexy, but it works. 3 meals a day, because what you're going to do is you're going to get that consistency up so that your body starts to anticipate them. What that means is that you're going to be boosting by eating 3 meals a day, you're automatically boosting your metabolism, because what happens is your body's then primed for those 3. When the consistency is there, your body's primed to eat those 3 meals. So it knows to expect breakfast. Then it knows to expect lunch. It knows to expect dinner. It knows that these 3 meals are coming, so that when you actually are eating them, it metabolizes the food properly. Whereas if you're skipping meals or missing meals, what happens is that your body doesn't know when the food is coming next. So automatically it's going to start to store it as fat. That's real talk. So as much as you guys think that skipping meals or maybe restricting your calories or whatever you're doing during the holidays is going to give you a boost, you're actually doing the opposite. And I can tell you this because I have so many women coming into the Nourish system every single month that are under eating and are stalled in their weight loss. And it's the number one reason why they're stalled. So that's number one. Eat 3 meals a day. Get super, super consistent for this month, and it's going to serve you wonders. The next one is to make sure that you're eating the right food combinations. So within those meals, you want to make sure that you're getting a healthy dose of lean protein, healthy fats, a lot of fiber, and good complex carbohydrates. And what that's going to do is that's going to balance your fat loss hormones and boost your metabolism, so that when you're putting those meals in your body's using them, and it turns into automatically like this big fat burning machine, so that down the road, if you do have a Christmas dinner, your metabolism's already firing. So you don't have to worry about it, because you help boost it up before the holidays, so that when you have a glass of wine, or if you have Christmas cookies, or if you have this thing, these types of indulgences, it's not going to put a dent in your plan, in your program, in your weight loss goals. And then of course, the last thing that I would say is which is probably one of the hardest things, is to get back to square one. And what that means is after a holiday indulgence, after you go out for your Christmas parties, after, if you have a work, holiday party and you have too many holiday cookies, I don't want you to, like I said before, I do not want you to restrict. I want you to get back on track on the following day, meaning 3 meals a day, food combinations, drinking lots of water, go back to square one. This also means too that after, if you celebrate Christmas, for example, if you have a big Christmas dinner, indulging, we all know that those leftovers can last for weeks. Indulging in them for those weeks is what is going to cause the weight to come back on. So after Christmas dinner, make a pact to yourself to get back to square one. 3 meals a day, proteins, fats, carbohydrates, fiber, and you'll be fine. If you want to indulge in if you want to have a little bit of stuffing with your dinner, that's totally fine. But just make sure that you're doing like one little thing a day as opposed to doing it consistently throughout those following weeks, because that is what's really going to trip you up, guys. Anyways, I hope that this has really been helpful, because I think the goal right now for a lot of us is you don't necessarily want to start a program because there's a lot of stress going on and you don't want to just incorporate all this new information into your life right now, because you're not going to be able to retain it and actually use it to its full effectiveness. So it's my goal for all of you guys to just have these little things on hand to help you at least get to January, get through the holidays without putting on tons of weight, staying super consistent, feeling amazing. And then that way, when you have some more time to dedicate to your health and wellness, then you can dive in fully and be fully present and actually crush your goals, because that's my number one goal for all of you. So I hope that this has been really helpful for you guys. If you have any questions, just drop them below the video, or you can send me a DM and I'll be happy to answer them all for you. So I'm off for now, but I'll see you guys soon. Bye.